Hello everyone, tonight is episode 3 of the 70 Mustang teardown. So this teardown is going to be the final teardown of the engine. I'm cleaning the engine up and then I'm going to start resealing the engine. So I'm getting pretty excited here about the progress that I'm seeing. Making these videos is giving me some momentum. It gives me a reason to keep going quickly. And I hope you guys are having fun following along as well. If you have any things you want to see that I'm not showing, this is all new to me, so hit me up in the comments below. If this is your first episode, go ahead and check out the first 2 episodes, episodes 1 and 2, where I'm tearing the engine down and then pulling it out of the car. I'll link to that up above, somewhere over here. And finally, if you enjoy this content, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel below so you can see all the different Rigs Garage things that we're working on. I appreciate you watching, and here we go. First things first, here are a few videos that I took during the day over the weekend, cleaning up the engine and doing a quick pressure wash of the engine bay of the Mustang. Have a look. Quick spray of degreaser. I'm going to seal off the lifter valley here and the cylinders so junk can't fall in there while I'm scraping the outside of the engine, which is dirty. You know, there's junk in here. There's still some rat poop, mouse poop. So I'm going to clean the outside of the short block with all this sealed. I'm going to keep the lifters in their places because these are broken in with the camshaft, which I am probably keeping as well. So we'll need to consider that if I flip this upside down. So I'm going to seal this, take off accessories, and then I'm going to scrub the sides of the block. Scrub the oil pan and the oil pan area. Once everything's scrubbed really clean, then I will take the oil pan off. Only after everything's scrubbed clean, because I don't want to dump any junk in the short block because there are bearings in there where anything can get in there and destroy them. Another thing to consider is the stuff that you use to scrub it. Be really careful. Things like steel wool are going to put tiny pieces of steel inside the engine and probably trash some bearings. So that's an important consideration. So once I clean the outside of this, I'm just doing it in my garage here. I'm going to use some degreaser, wire brush, some brake clean, and just put some cardboard down here from all the Christmas shopping. Okay, so I am taping like a Walmart sack over the top of this valley here. You can see what's going on just around the machined edges. They aren't very clean, but this is sticking to them okay. Now I'm going to douse the thing in degreaser and I'm going to go away and eat. The degreaser sat on the paint all day and it started eating the paint away, and then with the addition of brake clean and a wire brush, it basically takes the engine down to bare iron, which is great. So I'm going to have this engine all cleaned up really fast. Of course, I'm making sure I don't get junk anywhere up in here. It's taped off, nice and safe, and I've covered oil filter, oil pressure, all that stuff. So looks like we're good. Going to get the block cleaned up nicely, and then we'll take the pan off, reseal the pan, water pump, all that fun stuff. Well, somebody loved gasket maker. Lots of corrosion. If I ran this thing, I bet it would leak out the snout here. Now I'll remove this aluminum housing. Let's see what's in here. We've got oil. We'll let that drain for a little bit. And I'm going to pull the lifters out of their bore real quick, so when I flip this engine over, they aren't going to fall out. Now I'm going to pull them out and keep them in the order that they came out, so they'll be matched with the cam, because they did break in with this cam. And in case I reuse this cam, which I plan on it if the grind is a decent one, I'll put them exactly where they came back, or where they came out from. I'm going to use a magnet and I'm going to pull each lifter out. And I know it's inefficient, but I numbered baggies. I have a huge pack of plastic bags. And I'll put each one in here. That'll keep dust and junk out of it, and it'll keep them in order. It's not a bad practice to inspect the lifters. Make sure they're completely smooth. Nice hardened steel, no scores, no metal on metal eating. Nothing scary and crazy. These look great. Remove this red ground. That's interesting. Somebody was very, very liberal with the gasket maker. Here's a giant glob that was over a bolt back in this corner here on the back of the motor. I assume it looks like the oil pan's been maybe over tightened or bent back here. So I'm not sure if this had a history of leaking, but there's that. And I am labeling everything and putting it in bags. There's always a chance it'll be like 5 weeks before I put this motor back together. And I might forget. Might not. This is cheap insurance. Next, I'll take off the front pulley. Now we'll take up this old Chevy Orange balancer. Now I'm going to pull off the oil pan. which is mostly glued. Possibly totally glued down. I think I see a gasket in there. Just breaking it loose. Got some really old looking oil in there. It's actually clean. This is like a gelled up oil water stuff. It's completely smooth, like a grease though. It's not full of contaminants. See, the rods are numbered. Double timing chain. Cool. I'm just giving it a look over. I'm looking for nasty dirt and sludge. I'm looking for anything that looks out of place. Here's the oil pickup. And a little bit of that gelled oily substance there. But overall this thing looks really clean. Let's get this front cover off now. Oh my gosh. I think God loves me. Further proof. I don't want any of this junk getting in my oil pump pickup screen, keeping me from getting oil when I'm doing 7,000 RPM blasts through my neighborhood at night. Almost done with the bottom side of the engine. I am going over everything with the razor blade and making sure anything with cardboard, make sure to remove it. Make sure these surfaces are completely clean. Because the last thing I want is to skimp on prep and have this thing leak in my beautiful stained driveway. Head gaskets with us. Gasket scraper again. Trying to keep it at a good angle that's cutting, but not cutting the gasket. Just cutting the gasket's bond. Here's a quick tip what I'm doing to get my cylinder head surfaces, the deck of the block here, really beautiful. I'm using a gasket scraper to get the gasket off, any of the material, and then I'm using the scuffing pad here with a little bit of brake cleaner, and that gets rid of any adhesive, any spray, any remainder of the gasket. And it's not like a sandpaper that would have actual abrasives on it that would really take any metal off, so it's not going to create metal grit to get in here and jack up my piston rings. all it's doing, it does create a little bit of dust, but it's just this grit here, and it's easily wiped out, vacuumed here upon final cleaning before I do paint and seal the engine up. Some people also might ask me if I'm cleaning the tops of the pistons. There's just a tiny bit of carbon buildup, and I don't think it's worth my time and the risk of getting garbage in the motor at this point. There's going to be carbon anytime you burn fuel. I'm not very concerned about it, and there's no excessive buildup, so it should be fine. Okay, so look at this now, and it's just going to eat. Eats any of the junk off of there. See how good that is? I always run my finger over the machine surfaces to see if there are any imperfections left by remaining gasket material. So far, so good. Gasket surfaces are all clean now. This is the kind of work that's not really fun to film. It's just a lot of work. I have completely degreased and wire brushed the block all around. Most of the old blue paint came off. So take notes there. I'm probably going to use a VHT high temp primer just to make sure this is primed nicely. See the nice clean block now. Gasket surfaces are beautiful. Quick taping of the perimeter of the machine surfaces. So on little curves and stuff, you can get a razor blade out and just trim away the tape so you get a nice edge there. What I'm going to do is just get some paper, tape it over the whole valley here up to this. For the distributor here, I just taped over this, and then I'll hit it with a razor around here. The engine's all masked. We have used a bunch of Christmas wrapping paper. Merry Christmas. I cleaned up the front cover, put it on, and then you can see the oil pan. Oops, missed a spot. I'll fix that. But it's ready to go. Shaking it up. I'm using this Duplicolor engine enamel primer. We're going to use Duplicolor Ford Blue over that. Wonder if I can get some overspray on my camera here. So I'm just trying to get in all the nooks and crannies here. apply other engine enamel color coats within 1 hour. Sounds good. All right, it's all primed up. All right, I'm using DE 1606 Ford Dark Blue from Duplicolor to match the primer there. I read up on CJ Pony Parts. They had a tech article about the different colors of blue to use for different years of the Mustangs. So 70, they recommended the DE 1606 Ford Dark Blue. So that's what we're gonna shoot. Oh, it looks good, yeah. Ah, the wind is coming. Go away. Hey, thanks for watching this video on Riggs Garage. Although there are some boring things that I went through here, it's all part of putting an engine together. You have to take it apart, you have to clean it. The prep is everything. So, take your time to prep it and make it look beautiful. I love that dark Ford blue on this engine. It's going to look great. And I have some exciting things coming up in the future that are going to really complement that blue engine. So, stay tuned. Stick with me here on Riggs Garage. Hit that like button below and subscribe to the channel to see more Riggs Garage content on the 70 Mustang. Also, I've got a ton of love for the truck in the background there. Go ahead and check out my truck video, and I'm putting more videos together as we speak for the truck. So, I haven't got it out a lot because it's pretty cold, but there are some pretty neat things. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.